Hey guys, Mike Burr here, Danny's Dream Acres. It's been a bit since I posted. Julie does most of the posting. This year, what we decided to do was we needed a new small buck goat barn. Anyway, with that being said, we decided we wanted to build a new goat barn. I was going to move it, but I got a little nervous about moving it because, again, it was a kit. I wasn't sure how stable it would be if we, tried to put it on some 6x6 and pull it. Or use a tractor bucket to lift it just barely off the ground. It made me a little nervous, so we decided we were going to build a new one. And there started the search. It was going to cost us about $4,000 to purchase one that was pre-built, one of the Amish sheds or what have you. I didn't need anything fancy. It's just going to be a goat barn for the bucks. So I went back to Home Depot and Lowe's and looked at the same similar kit that I built myself. That was $1,500. And it did included the OSB on the roof, but it did not include any shingles or tin. Also, it didn't include a foundation of any sorts or flooring. It was just the sides and the roof, and that's just not, I don't know. So anyway, I sat down, built the plans to sort of mirror that same exact shed. 6-foot walls with a 10x10 and a 2x6 16 center floor with some cinder blocks for foundation. And by the time it was all said and done, with a proper foundation and 2x6 pressure treated lumber for the floor and real nice 3/4 inch plyboard for the floor, and then a nice tin roof with a ridge cap, and 2 windows, which the other barn didn't have. I got 2 small 18 by 23 inch windows off Amazon for sheds or mini barns or garden sheds. All said and done, I'm only $1,400 in. So I'm like, okay. I know it's a little more work, but at any rate, I decided I wanted to do that, and Julie agreed to save us a little money. We're going to build this over the weekend. We're going to bring you along for the journey. I'll speed it up as we go, and then I'll just kind of narrate so we can try and get all this in one video and show you how we erect this new 10x10 goat barn. So without further ado, let's do it. Come on. All right, guys. We sped this up, but you can kind of see we've been having problems with our camera, but we went ahead and got the foundation leveled out. We had cinder blocks and we leveled those out, and the foundation of the flooring was done with pressure treated 2x6 boards, 16 on center, and then we laid 3/4 inch plywood. You can see I've got Daniel and Connor here working with me. And, I really needed their help because it's a little bit more than the old man could handle by himself. But we kind of modeled this after the shed that I had mentioned earlier. Again, this one's 24 on center for the sides. I mean, this isn't going to be something super fancy, so we just modeled it after the same one. You can see here me and the boys kind of putting the sides together, the walls, and then we stood them up. Connor kind of just hanging out there, just learning from afar, I suppose. There goes Daniel. He's putting up the sides, but we used 2x3s for the walls. It was a little bit cheaper, and we wanted to try to do this economically, like I mentioned up front. We did this whole thing for under $1,500. I think it was $1,400 with the windows and everything. You can see here, I'm teaching Daniel and Connor how to level the walls and make sure everything's good. We use those, I believe they were 1x4s, sort of get the walls level. You can see him teaching Daniel, and Connor's just, he's just hanging out there in the back, just kind of chilling. But I do believe he is learning because he's watching. And, sometimes kids, they learn best by watching. I guess that's, I don't want to call it osmosis, but I think that's something that happens in air or water. But by and large, he's paying attention, just watching. I'm sure he's learning, and there he goes off somewhere else. I'm not sure where he's headed, but maybe he went to the bathroom or something. But anyway, we got the 2 walls up, and here's Daniel and I. We're working on that
that third wall, the back wall. There's Connor back again. But, we had bought all the lumber from Home Depot. And, because I'm a veteran, I was able to use my veterans discount. And I did get quite a bit off all the lumber. And that's kind of the secret I didn't mention up front was, when I did price this, the cool thing about the Home Depot app is you can put everything in there in your cart, and it automatically, takes, or I should say deducts the whatever up to 10% of the reduction in cost that you get on certain items. It's not every single item, but it's on a lot of things, and it did really sort of help out. So anyway, Daniel and I here are finishing up that last back wall, and we did speed this up quite a bit. I think it took us pretty much all day. The first hour and a half, of course, we thought the camera was running, and it wasn't. Julie probably, she's not going to be happy about that. But as I get older, I'm not as sharp as I used to be. So, these little things slip on me. But anyway, we got it started. And there's Connor jumping back in again. Looks like he's thirsty. So it looks like we're taking a break. But I'll tell you one thing: it's nothing better than spending time with your boys and teaching them. You can see that they're very engaged and really into helping me. At the end of the day, once I'm long gone, these are skills that they'll have as they grow older and have children, and teach them, how to do things on their own. One of the things I pride myself on is teaching these boys how to do things for themselves. In this world, it seems like there's a lack of that. Some guys, and girls for that matter, they just don't know how to do things. They'll hire somebody, they look it up on Google, call somebody. So here, real quick, here's another, this is kind of another snafu we had. It looks like we broke for lunch, and again, the battery and the camera, we thought it was running. So we actually finished all the walls and got the roof almost done before we realized that the camera wasn't working yet again. This prompted me to sort of look at replacing what we had. So shortly after I made this video, we replaced it with a new one. I think this one was recorded on an older Hero 8. And shortly after this, I went on and went over and got I think it was a Hero 11. Much better battery life, much better. Came with a handle, so it literally lasted for hours. But anyway, you hear me and me down Connor again, and it warmed up after lunch. Sun came out, and again, we're just finishing up the roof there. We got the rafters done, and looks like I'm doing most of the hammering, but I did try to show the boys, and they did a little bit. This wood was a little bit, for some reason the OSB was a little tough. It's usually not. It's pretty soft wood, but the nails were bending quite heavily. You can see there I was pulling some out. But boy, look at the day. Just look at that. I mean, I know it's going fast, but it was a beautiful breeze that day. The sun got warm in the afternoon. You can see the blue sky and the clouds there in the background. I just tell you what, this is just watching this back is making me so proud. My boys there with me the whole day. I asked them to help me build this, and neither one of them had a second thought. Good boys they are. So what you're doing here is I'm taking T111 and putting up the sides. We use T111 for the siding. It's a lot easier to do that way, and you kind of get that board and batten sort of look without the batten, I guess, but it's cost effective. I think I paid $30 a sheet, something like that. But here we're just dry fitting it. I'm showing the boys, easy way to measure where the rafters come down. We made the rafters with 2x3s as well, and So I was just kind of showing where you hold it up there and measure it, or at least mark it, and then we use the T-square. And you can see me here measuring. I'm showing Daniel. Connor's back there playing with the hammer. Maybe he thinks he's in the Lord of the Rings movie or something, you know, fighting some make-believe troll. But anyway, here we go. Now what I'm doing there in the middle is I'm just using the saw to make a whole bunch of cuts close together to kind of get that middle piece out. And there's Connor just hitting it again. And I think I break out the chisel here in a second. So we knock that little middle piece out. And that fits right under the rafter coming down from the top, so we get a nice good seal. And we're putting it up here and getting the boys to hold it up, and we nailed it all the way to the bottom of the 2x6. And I wanted a good amount of wood going all the way to the bottom to keep the drafts out. And you know, as we finish this project, you'll see what I do on the inside. It's the same thing I did on the other barns, which is I take pallets and you know, I get them for $2 a piece or sometimes free. But you'll see me do that later on when we do part 2 of this video. This video is only going to take us through you know, most of the build, and you know, where we get the walls up and everything. And you'll see towards the end where, yeah, I kind of had one more battery problem with this thing, and but anyway, we're throwing it up here, and this is a new hammer. This is a 22-ounce hammer. I bought it, and for another project I had, and this is the first time I used it. And I'll tell you one thing: my forearm was done by the end of the day. A 22-ounce, you know, framing hammer is it's pretty heavy if you haven't used one before. But I guess I got some good strong Popeye arms out of that. Anyway, there's Daniel checking his phone. Looks like he's getting bored. What do you expect for the young men, right? I mean, they're there helping, they're not complaining. And here we go measuring that other side piece. But we ended up doing this whole, I guess the whole siding on this first day. We actually leveled out those concrete, not concrete, but cinder block blocks at the bottom. Got it all nice and level. And then we built a foundation on top of it. Again, they were 2x6, pressure treated, and we did that 16 on center, so it would be a little stronger. Side walls were 2x3s, and then we double them up across the top there for the rafters to hang on to. And the front there, I'll frame the doors in later, but and here I'm cheating a little bit. I think I broke out the Sawzall, made it a little bit easier. Just another way for me to show the boys, just another tool. This is the first time they've ever really helped me build something of this size. So next time when we finish the rest of it and we build the rest of the, I guess we build the rest of the barn, we'll get them involved more with cutting. Connor did some cutting. He did quite well. But right now, since they're young and I'm not, I'm using their backs to hold stuff up. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Now I'm just finishing up putting the siding there. Again, we go around the whole, we finish the whole siding, and I think we even get one window in on this day, but we'll do the rest of it in the next couple weekends. You know, we're not in a big hurry. It's not super cold out yet. And eventually, I have 4 100-watt solar panels that I'm going to use to power this little shed for the summer. I'll have a 200 amp hour battery to store the power, and then they'll have plenty of electricity for down here. But guys, if you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe to it. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, as you can see here popping up. We'd love for you to follow us there, and please subscribe and like this, and ring that bell so when we put new ones out, you'll be right there with us. And we really appreciate this. And again, what a wonderful day for a dad to spend with his kids. Just a great day.